She was just a janitor in a high-rise building, invisible to everyone, until one night, someone noticed. That's how the story ends. But let me take you back to how it all began. The cold air of downtown Manhattan pierced through Nora's worn-out coat as she stepped off the city bus. It was nearly midnight. The streets were quieter now, the city having shed its day crowd. But for Nora, her workday was just beginning. She pulled her scarf tighter and walked briskly toward the tall glass building where she had been cleaning offices for the past 3 months. Inside the grand lobby, Nora showed her ID to the sleepy security guard and made her way to the janitor's closet. She changed into her navy blue uniform, tied her brown curls into a bun, and took a deep breath before heading up to the 43rd floor. The office belonged to Tanner and Holt Investments, a prestigious firm known for its ruthless efficiency and sky-high profits. To Nora, it was just another floor with glossy desks, leftover coffee cups, and glass panels that revealed a world far above her own. She often wondered what the executives looked like. She only knew their names from the plaques on their doors. She worked silently, efficiently. Mop, polish, empty trash, repeat. Her fingers were cracked from the cold water. Her shoes had holes. But she never complained. Because every hour she worked brought her closer to saving Liam, her little brother. Liam was only 11, full of energy and big dreams. But last year, those dreams shattered when he collapsed on the soccer field. He was diagnosed with a rare heart condition. Surgery was the only option. The cost? Over $120,000. Their parents had died in a car crash 5 years ago. There was no one else. Just Nora, at 24, trying to be a sister, mother, and savior. She had dropped out of college. Sold every valuable item. Took on 2 jobs, waitressing by day, janitorial work by night. And still, she was short by $42,000. But Nora refused to give up. Liam believed in her. That was enough. What she didn't know was that someone had been watching. Not in a creepy way. Not with ill intent. But with curiosity. Jacob Tanner, co-founder of Tanner and Holt, often stayed late. He preferred quiet nights to crowded mornings. He'd noticed the cleaning lady once or twice, always moving swiftly, never wasting a second, always looking tired but focused. She never looked around, never lingered like others did. She wasn't stealing time. She was working like her life depended on it. One evening, long after everyone had gone, Jacob had forgotten his phone in his office. When he returned, he saw her in the break room. He didn't even know her name then, kneeling by the vending machine, counting coins. She inserted a few quarters and pulled out a pack of crackers and a small juice box. Then, to Jacob's surprise, she pulled out her phone and started a video call. "Hey, buddy," she whispered, eyes lighting up. Liam's face appeared on the screen, pale but smiling. "You eating?" he asked. She held up the crackers. "Yup." "You?" "Yeah. Nurse brought me some pudding." They talked for 5 minutes. She told him a silly joke. He laughed. Then they both said, "I love you," at the same time and ended the call. Jacob stood frozen in the hallway. That small window into her world stirred something deep in him. He had everything, wealth, influence, a penthouse view of the skyline, but no one ever called to ask if he was eating. He went home that night, but Nora's face stayed with him. The next few weeks, he started noticing more. How she picked up trash others left without complaint. How she stayed behind sometimes to organize a cluttered desk. How she once helped a delivery guy carry packages to the mailroom. Always in the shadows. Always kind. Always invisible. One snowy night, she slipped and twisted her ankle on the wet floor of the lobby. Jacob happened to be exiting at that very moment. "Are you okay?" he asked, rushing to her. She looked up, surprised to be acknowledged. I'm fine, she said, wincing. Just a sprain. You should get that checked. I can't afford to miss hours, she said. It's okay. I'll be fine. Jacob helped her up. She limped toward the elevator and disappeared. That night, Jacob pulled her employee file. Nora Jacobs. Age 24. Emergency contact, Liam Jacobs. Guardian. Hospital, Mount Sinai Children's Unit. Balance due, $42,830. He stared at the screen for a long time. Then he made a decision. The next day, Nora received a call from the hospital. She rushed over, fearing the worst. Instead, she was told that the entire remaining balance for Liam's surgery had been paid in full, anonymously. She broke down in tears, right there in the waiting room, her hands shaking. Liam's surgery was scheduled for the following week. The night before the operation, she showed up to work as usual. Her eyes were puffy, her smile a little wider than usual. She cleaned with a strange sense of peace. Everything felt different. Brighter. Lighter. Jacob watched from the shadows again, but this time, he approached her. Miss Jacobs, he said gently. She turned, startled. Mr. Tanner? I just wanted to say. I've seen the way you work. And I want to thank you. Not many people show the kind of heart you do. She blinked. Thank me? I know about your brother, he continued, softly. And I know how hard you've worked. She froze. He smiled, extending an envelope. There's an offer inside. Full-time position. Day shift. Better pay. And health benefits. Her hands trembled as she took it. Why are you doing this? She asked, her voice breaking. Jacob looked her in the eyes. Because once upon a time, someone helped me when I had nothing. And I never forgot it. Neither will Liam. Liam's surgery was a success. He recovered within weeks, his energy returning like sunshine after a long storm. He ran. He laughed. He lived. Nora took the new position. She started taking night classes again, slowly reclaiming the dreams she had sacrificed. And every Friday, she and Liam would bring food to the children's ward, because kindness, she believed, should always be paid forward. Years later, as Nora stood outside a new building bearing her name, the Jacobs Foundation for Children's Health, reporters gathered, cameras clicked, and Liam, now a teenager, hugged her tightly. Someone in the crowd asked, "How did this all start?" Nora smiled. It started with love, and a boss who noticed the janitor.